Today was a big day of news for Valve. Their next game leaked, which is Deadlock. Let's begin with this bombshell by Gabe Follower, which says Deadlock, next Valve game, previously known as Neon Prime and Citadel. It's a competitive third-person, hero-based shooter, 6v6, battling on huge maps with 4 lanes, usable abilities and items, tower defense mechanics, fantasy setting mixed with steampunk, magicians, weird creatures, and robots, fast travel using floating rails similar to BioShock Infinite. Saying it's basically fast-paced, interesting ADHD gameplay. Combination of Dota 2, Team Fortress 2, Overwatch, Valorant, Smite, Orcs Must Die, which we'll get into as we'll be looking at screenshots of Deadlock in just a few seconds. Gabe Follower continues saying the hero design pretty much inspired by Dota universe, main map references modern steampunk European city. Initially the game had sci-fi elements inspired by Half-Life and Portal, but after bad feedback the dev team decided to focus on fantasy, which in the new screenshots I will be showing you is the new art theme which we'll be looking at. The XPaw, the creator of the SteamDB, in concurrent computing, Deadlock is any situation in which no member of some group of entities can proceed because each waits for another member, including itself, to take action, such as sending a message or more commonly releasing a lock. Now you might be wondering, what is this Twitter account which he linked? And well, it is Play Deadlock. You notice it is privated, but also they joined April 2024, just last month. This could just be some random coincidence, but you can actually see when you look behind the account in the email, it is registered to Valve Software. Before we continue, Clash GG has a summer event live right now where you can collect oysters and win skins as they're giving out 500,000 gems. You can get oysters by playing your favorite game modes, but it won't last forever, so deposit with code WATERCS for a 5% bonus and then easily withdraw when you are done. At the moment, a lot of the information which is known is that the game is currently in closed alpha with hundreds of people playing, which includes friends and family members of Valve. But it also seems like invites have been spread more widely, which includes some YouTubers as they have been able to play under NDA. It's also said that an announcement is expected to be coming very soon. How soon? Will it be next week, this month, or will it be by the end of the summer? But from the most trustworthy source that you could find on the internet, an anonymous on 4chan went ahead and leaked this image today. Now this is one of the first looks at the new game. A lot of the things which have been previously leaked are lining up directly with this screenshot. First thing you'll point out is the third person player, a few abilities at the bottom which we'll get into. We also see a little bit of the map and multiple different characters slash heroes up at the top. We also get to see the general artwork style of the maps and what looks like a little bit of an inventory plus other stats that are just showing around, each one of them with their own interesting design. There's also some sort of bar, whether this is a health bar, ability bar, but you can start to get a feel of how this game will look with some of these details like their hats. You also see the suit. Then we have the other team. Really interesting to see how each one of them varies in abilities and gameplay. Now we are seeing in the middle is going to be a transportation system that will be happening in the game. We get a better look at it in another picture, but you can also sort of see it in this map here, which these are the 4 lanes that were mentioned earlier that players can ride. Now for the abilities, it looks like they have 4 of them. The first one seems to be some sort of sword with a swing on it. The second one seems to be some sort of dash. The third one I honestly can't make out, and then there is another symbol right there. We also see a souls counter on top of this mini inventory right here with a few other stats that we just can't make out what they are at the moment. There's also some sort of meter with a bar. Now we also get to see the general map style. But we got another extremely trustworthy source, anonymous on 4chan, has said they've been playing the game since 23. This time showing another screenshot of the game. This time it's a way higher quality, which gives us a lot more details. We get to see this new character right here. He's wearing this cool fedora hat. Overall, he looks pretty cool. We get to see 3 different abilities right here. Another look at that meter bar. What looks to be 16 different squares, which could be some sort of mini inventory of stuff that you pick up around the game. A souls counter, what could be a death counter, some percentage stat, and then what seems to be how fast you are moving per second. We get another look at the art style of the maps in this one. We get to see a few different statues. The sunlight, obviously the photo itself is in a little bit of bad quality, but if you can look through that, you can see that the game looks pretty nice, at least in my opinion. Now there seems to be some sort of menu or screen right over here on the right. This may just be a part of the alpha, as obviously this is just testing. It's still unknown exactly what does this bar mean. Is this some sort of movement? Is this an ability? But Mr. Anonymous returned and said it's a Smite like League of Legends with Dota like mechanics, but it features a brand spanking revolutionary public transit system, which is where we got our third screenshot of Deadlock. We get to see a little bit of the menu, which let's just begin with this. It begins with the overview, which has an introduction, which lets us know what lanes are. It would then move into troopers, guardians, walkers, and then base, which seems to just be the way Valve will be breaking down their new terminology of the game. As you can see here, lanes is what we saw in the minimap picture earlier, and they say there are 4 lanes, each with a transit line that players can ride to move quickly, which, as you can see right here, is this picture, and it looks like there will be some sort of indicator in the middle which will tell you exactly what lane you are riding, which this one seems to be the Y lane. There also seems to be details about gaining power, but as well there's also special moves, which may just be Valve saying abilities without actually saying abilities, each character having their own special moves and a way for players to attach to their own favorites. We also get to see another look at the art style with this map. This is the exact same map we saw in the first screenshot, just going by this map here, but obviously just in a different section. Now this could just be a complete coincidence, but right here we also see a York Street sign, which is a busy street in Toronto, which, if you didn't know, Overwatch has a map called New Queen Street or Queen Street, which is literally based in Toronto as well. And as Deadlock seems to be heavily inspired by Overwatch, this could just be a play on that. It could just be some wild coincidence. This screenshot was shared of one of the characters called Grey Talon, which says they deliver long range skill shots. We get to see some of the abilities right here, 1, 2, 3, and 4, which is a cunning predator, as Grey Talon uses a combination of deadly accuracy, traps, and clever positioning to bring down the toughest of opponents, giving us a look at one of the upcoming characters and how each one of them will be varying from each other. You notice the website Play Deadlock has been locked in since last month, very similar to the registration of the Play Deadlock Twitter. These are the current looks we have at the game so far. I'm sure within the next few days we're probably going to get more leaks, maybe an official announcement from Valve, so let's hope they show it off to us soon. Don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date on all news,